Today, we are ranking the best strikers in all of FC 25. Welcome back to tiers. Let's make it official. We have the top 75 rated strikers, not including the heroes and the icons. As per usual, we have broken, rank 1, foot champs, debatable in the pine. Run up the comments. And I'm putting these players up against each other. She could turn and burn. And I'm telling you, pace matters. Some of these defenders are looking slow, sluggish. Center backs heavy on their feet. Redondo is cool, a little more debatable, a little more overpowered action the other direction. And Yomi, she's got a lot of play styles. I'm not going above and beyond. She's finding herself in the debate. Kareem the Dream. It depends who's using him, because I'd like to believe he has higher potential than foot champs. And even with his inform, I'm going to go into the same situation, same category. There will be some of you that love him. He's got the balance. He's still got the skills. He can facilitate. But the turning of the game is a little trickier. And he will be a little bit slower than some other players in that type of category. I feel good about foot champs for now. Boniface with the double 3-star, big body type, debatable at best. Chawinga doesn't have everything. And that 2-star weak foot is upsetting. But the burn, I mean, that cheetah print is crazy. I'm giving her foot champs. We always have movement at the end of the videos. So if you think this is the final display, it won't be. Correa, I love him. I would recommend putting him into an Evo, but you could still get him weekend league approved. Cristiano Ronaldo will join him. Daily is not doing the numbers for yours truly. Pactor doesn't have the play styles. The price point is to match. I'm throwing her into the pine, and we might have a lot more accompanying her. David, I don't know that he gets even debatable. He's had such good track record of being overpowered, but he's not as fast, and he needs an upgrade, but he can finish a one-on-one. Still not going to give you the mixology with some of the skills. Not a facilitator, not a dribbler. To the pine. Diani, I would prefer out wide as it stands, but we're still leaning into foot champs. Diogo Jota is not my favorite style of player. I have not been able to get on with him, but with the weak foot and the skills and Premier League, and plenty of you that will co-sign and say that he's better than how he plays for me, I'm still going to give him foot champs. I'm looking at this from the masses. And if you've gotten to this point, you've not liked the video, hook it up, and everything in the new setup, the new office, Elgato exclusive, including a brand spanking new teleprompter. I'm going to make a video on that. Everything is linked below if you want to make pickups, but from the lights to the cameras, you name it, it's on display. Artem, I don't think you need him. I'm gonna be nice and put it into the debate. Same with Endrick, and there's so much hype, anticipation, build up, confidence, ego, all of the above. But we're talking about a 77 that might perform better than that rating. He's not magnificent just yet, but I would be willing to bet, if you're a gambling individual, on plenty of promos that go in his favor. Navarro, you're not going to be excited. I don't have that belief. Not giving you the special sauce. Gakpo, a lot of people seem to love him. I just think that he's decent, at least as it stands. We'll put him into the debate. He hasn't been crushing my soul. He hasn't been getting on my nerves. He hasn't been that resilient against me. It's been a matchup I've been okay with. Shall we venture to Brazil? Speed would be proud. And it's bothering me that we have no broken and no rank 1, so I might have been a little bit too gatekeepy with the foot champ, so we're going to move a couple players. Kareem the Dream is going up. I'm going to take both his gold and inform. Again, not that big of a jump or a movement. That's how I feel. Cristiano Ronaldo is also going to join him, and then I'm good from that point forward. So early movements done. Christina's not moving the needle. To the pine. Olivier Giroud, I'll give you 45 reasons that it's not going to work out beyond the pine. I don't care what play style or upgrade. If they don't start bumping his walking pace, it's not going to come together. But shout out to Giroud. Made the move to MLS. Likely to be a hero. I think he's right on that precipice or cusp. Antoine Griezmann, loving his inclusion this year. Floating attacker. Maybe more of a cam than he is a true in and out striker, but the passing, the stepping into space, the precision, the accuracy, all of that is authentic. 69 pace, lacking skills, not able to facilitate, not even that physical. I don't see it. Victor's been having some hype. I don't know if I'm here to co-sign that anticipation. I've always been a little bit of a critic, even though I see on social media and people using him. I've gone up against him now multiple times. Foot champs is where he belongs in my mind. Holland, and you already have a player of the month because he's on a rampage in the Premier League. He's going to break every scoring record ever. I'd like to have him in broken. I've been using him a lot. I'm going to put both the 91 and the 92 in the same category, but you're going to have to get used to using Haaland to benefit or maximize what he's able to actually do on the virtual pitch. We're not at a point where we have the same lob it up, knock it down tactic or meta that kind of made him so popular last year. And I could see him moving down to maybe even being rank 1, or depending who you're talking to, foot champs, because he's not that mobile. Of course, if you get him into space and a 50-50 or a chip through ball, some of these disruptive scenarios, he's still the best of the best. But if you want facilitation, or you want some of that quick turning, some ingenuity, or something special in the final third, it can get more complex, but I'm still keeping him in broken. Havertz, he's decent, bit of a floating attacker. I'm going debatable, and that feels right. Hegerberg, if you want, we can put her here, but again, not that physical, not that fast, not going to give you a bunch of skills, not that creative, not an amazing passer. She ends up feeling kind of ordinary. The dreaded Iago Aspas, and he doesn't deserve this, but every year he finds himself in a lower category. The numbers are right. His performance in the league is right. His shooting, if you're looking at the detailed breakdown here between positioning and finishing, but I don't know that he's going to stand out for you. Could round him into foot champs. I'll leave that here. Isak is certifiable for the weekend. He might even be rank 1. Again, depends on the player putting him into motion. João Felix, if you can get him into some sort of Evo and upgrade early on, he could move beyond debatable, my opinion. Alvarez, this man's a sleeper. Even at an 84, I'm tempted, and I think I'm going to lean him into rank 1, which might be a big statement, but he's a dangerous striker. Gets the links, he can facilitate, he's got quality dribbling. I look at the first touch, but I'm giving Alvarez rank 1. Harry Kane, I don't know what to do here. He's not amazing. I know there's going to be some of you that sit up here and get in the comments and say you're going to use him in foot champs or competitive rivals games, and I hope to match up against you. And for that reason, I can't put him on some sort of pedestal. I know he's a 90 overall, and if it's about finishing, he has that. But the lack of versatility, I'm stuck. She's joining Harry in the debate. Sammy Kerr is serious business. Still one of the best finishers, conversionist. Don't know if I made up a word. Hashtag organics. Even though I have an expectation from her, she always over delivers. Kolo Muani, I'm hating going up against him. I don't know if foot champs is enough. It's simple what he's going to do, but his turn, the burn, the release, the speed, the pace, it feels dangerous. And you're going to see him used plenty as we build out these overpowered early meta teams. Lacazette to the Pine. That's where we're at these days. Lay Sommer. Back-to-back Frenchies, not going to happen. Lewandowski, I definitely like better than Harry Kane. Maybe he deserves to be a little more rank 1 if I'm giving Kareem the pusher. They're similar types of players. And anywhere on the edge of the box or around the box, he's got some sort of methodology to get himself into areas that will stay dangerous. The completeness and the balance gets you a lot of value and confidence on the pitch. Lookman is part of that new overpowered crew. I'm going to push him into foot champs. At least for the first couple weekends, you can do it. Malin, same situation. I don't know if there's longevity here for either of those players unless they get promos or upgrades or evos, or you do something extracurricular. But as it stands, I'd be okay putting them into high-end rivals matches or getting them into a weekend league. Lautaro, looking active. This is a good year for Lautaro. If I have Lewandowski in rank 1, Lautaro's probably got to be there. Mbappe is somehow even more juiced. I mean, the price tag, again, supports that. He costs more than every striker, and it's not even close. It's likely the 91 will be close to endgame. I would like to think 6 or 7 months. And we've never seen a more dominant gold item. I said this last year with Mbappe. I am repeating it. I think he might have even got better. Messi, I packed him. Not only is it Messi, but we're dealing with the inform variation. But if we're talking about playing him up front, I don't love it. I'm still going to give him foot champs because he's at least centrally based. But this floating attacker, or that number 10-esque playmaker, Messi is amazing in that role. And I've been using this inform with that in mind, with a narrow attack, and he's able to find every key pass or a quick turn. His Trivellas are top tier. He'd almost be a secondary option that you'd want just beneath the main striker, and they could interject and he could compose the attack. We can toss her into the debate. This Nunez has been causing me so many problems. This is similar last year. There's just some power or fearlessness, and you can evo this item. So we've seen the 82 go to an 84, and he's a one-man show. He'll catch on to a through ball, or he'll make a good turn on the center back. You don't catch up to him. And what's right is right. Foot champs. And Nkunku is right on the cusp. My first instinct says foot champs, but he also comes with multiple play styles. He's got 5-star skills, which gives you a different angling of moments or how to handle them. We'll revisit, but he's going foot champs for now. Penda, also foot champs. Might be a little too one-dimensional for some of you, but right now, where you have a limit to how many players are actually that fast or that quick or that through ball oriented, he kind of sets himself aside. Oshoala, I am not dealing with well. Am I crazy? I kind of want her in rank 1. That's where I'm at. Osimhen in this group might be a foot champs player, but I think more of you will find him in the debate. He's an 87, but sort of. Yes, she can finish, but she also has 3-star skills, 3-star weak foot, which kind of negates 89 dribbling. To a certain degree, it does. I mean, it depends who's talking and who's playing and what you're looking for, but I need all the little touches, the details. Pop really doesn't do the business for me, so I'm not going to get on here and spread some sort of false positivity. Rashford, danger. At this current moment, maybe above foot champs. If you want to make a case for him being in rank 1, I would listen. I would hear it. Again, part of that revisit conversation, we have some dialogue and some narrative. For how long? I would say it's short-lived as we see upgrades and improvements, but Rashford with the skills, the body type, Premier League, even with a downgrade, he still has such levels of dynamic ability and he's prevalent. We've thrown Trinity in this with the inform. I would almost consider her more of a winger than a striker, but if you play her in either placement, you're not going to be upset with the result. It'll be a happy configuration, shall we say. Russo's going to have you asking for more. I don't think it's different for Scholler. Even early on, I don't see you using them outside of maybe for an SBC, some sort of fodderism. The same with Shaw, not a game changer. Sophia Smith, on the other hand, absolute monster. Roasting, toasting, boasting, braggadocious, a lot of confidence. I'm giving her that broken category. What I'm looking at doing is keeping broken and then just making sure that we have an Mbappe separation, because I think it's going to matter. And the reality is he's on another playing field. Sonaldo, for sure, rank 1. Fun to use, 5-star weak foot. Sorloff's not there yet. I'm going to go put him into the debate. Big Marcus, also foot champs. He's one of the larger body players that has enough turn but knockdown and composure and shoulder and shimmy and shake. He gives you the confidence that he's not only able to score a goal, but that you can challenge back lines. He's not as one-dimensional. Some of the big guys aren't ready yet. They're not there yet. Trossard, again, I consider him more of a winger or a floating attacker. I've been using him recently. You could use him for foot champs. I don't think that he's a liability on the pitch. He's not doing the business for me. Maybe as we go on, it's just that's the situation. Ollie Watkins, happy for the upgrade. He deserves it, but debatable at best. Timo Werner, I don't think he's as good as he's been. Comparatively to even previous years where Timo Werner to Burner had something about him. I don't know if I want to start using the word or, but there was definitely a little more of a fear factor. It's not like that this year, in my opinion. Dan Juma, early SBC, gets you into foot champs. These foundational players just never have it. I'm just going to go ahead and toss her into the pine. Rafa Leao. Disgusting. You can play him up front. You can also get away with playing him on the wing. Your choice. Rodrigo, same situation. I played him in both slots. Really like him just on the pitch. What? These foundationals. She's got way better numbers. I haven't seen her in motion like that. I haven't been able to put this out to the universe properly, so I'm putting her into the pine for now. She might get into the debate, but let's go over a full review. I'm adding a tier here, and we're just going to call it Mbappe because players just aren't there yet. There's a harsh reality, but I need to space this properly. So Mbappe's getting his own category, and he deserves it. When we get into the pine, I don't see a bunch of movements. It's more or less around, do we have items in the debate that need to join? We got a little more harsh as time went on. There's a lot of high-rated players in the debate, but what's right is right as it stands. Correa could be a hot take for you being in a weekend league, but I really like him, and I think you will too. Isak has this tall leanness to him that gives him the ability to still move in an athletic or a responsive or a better dribbling manner, and then he has the 5-star weak foot and the skill moves. I'm trying to talk my way in. If anything, he's a priority player to maybe go up, but outside of that, maybe Oshoala. I just hate going up against her. Even Messi, I'm telling you, You need him to be this floating attacker, but it's not a true striker. He's always a secondary option in that department, but it's better to play him as a striker than a winger. Maybe for that reason and his actual ability, I want to bring him up. I'm going to bring Oshawalu up. We'll give them rank 1. Isak's right there on the cusp, and I think I'm going to leave him there. I like Nkunku a lot. If you used him, I think you'd agree with me. I sort of want to give all of these guys a little bit of a bump. Diani, again, I'm preferring her out wide. If anything, I'm trying to reserve the foot champs more or less for some of the overpowered players for the right now that might not be here at a later stage. So I'm going to give Isak the movement. Nkunku's going up. And then Openda's also going to join that same scenario. And it's now a question of who gets into broken. Leao has that. Smith has that. I like Griezmann. Highly regard him. I don't know if this is his best position. I still think of him more as an attacking mid or a false 9. Sonaldo can do some things. Rodrigo has been stellar as I've used him, as I've put him into motion. I still look at Trinity as more of a winger. Kareem's not going to make that pusher. I have a trust in Cristiano Ronaldo. Kerr has a finesse for the playstyle plus. Absolute threat. I just realized we forgot Mr. Williams, so we've added him in. If there's any players that were left off the list, ask me in the comments. I will answer. I feel good keeping the broken category very small. Good collective of premium in rank 1. The overpowered guys in foot champs, and then debatable in the pine. Before you know it, they're going to be out the door. You're not going to be using them. There's going to be a couple promo items and upgrades, and that'll be a wrap for them. I'm not saying I'm a fan of that, and you can let me know how you feel in the comments, but the way that EA's gone with so many different upgrades and improvements, gold players in general aren't going to last long. That's the reality. But as always, I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.